Buenos días. Es mañana hermosa. Hola. Yeah, so we're about to watch Calvin Smith of AIG Canada lie shamelessly about evolution.
But evolution has never been observed in the present and has no eyewitness testimony from the past.
Well, let me tell you how that's bullshit, Calvin. Evolution has been observed, actively taking place in the lab, on farms and ranches, and in the wild. Evolution has been observed, actively taking place by scientists, farmers, ranchers, forest rangers, hunters, and yes, by Christian clergy in monasteries. Throughout the medieval period, Christian clergymen documented a process that we now know is evolution. But at the time, they didn't know what it was. And so, yeah, evolution has been observed, actively taking place. And maybe it's time for you, Calvin, to just, I don't know, stop lying.
Attacked on your position. Anyone that's watched a politician for more than a few minutes has kind of seen this type of mumbo jumbo before, right? That the person just keeps talking and talking and saying a lot of words, but they never seem to say or come to any kind of real commitment. So that later on, if someone accuses them of backing a certain point of view, well, they just kind of deny it and say, well, you know, that was pretty vague earlier on. They don't have to commit to anything. Well, that's a defense mechanism being employed. What they're trying to do by stating they lack belief is to protect their worldview from being open to attack. And
you mean like you just did there? Yeah, don't think we didn't notice.
Acceptance in the West was celebrated. And yet today, when saying Merry Christmas at Christmas time, it's considered offensive by many. Why are we changing the traditional greeting to Happy Holidays while governments are forcing the removal of nativity scenes from public spaces?
Well, that's real simple, Calvin. Nobody finds Merry Christmas to be offensive. Nobody gets offended by it. What's happening, though, is that some people, trying to be more inclusive, say Happy Holidays. Because, well, we've been doing this for 100 years now. And as a result, hardline evangelical bullshitters like yourself have worked yourself into a frenzy and a tizzy and basic general hysterics. Because, yeah, you're no longer in a position of exclusive ownership. You have to share the holiday season with Jews and Muslims and Hindus and Buddhists and Zoroastrians. And that offends you because you want to exclusively control it. Governments aren't doing anything. It is literally churches who are doing all the bullshit behavior. Quite literally in an attempt to try to bully the rest of us into conforming to your fantasy in which the word Happy Holidays is something new that is just being forced on everybody, when in fact it is something old that we all have a choice in. We can say Happy Holidays, we can say Merry Christmas, we can say Blessed Yule, and it's all equally intended to be a friendly greeting. Except that people like yourself insist on taking it as a challenge and responding with venom and hostility. And that is the problem.
Rapid evolution pop up all the time and are wielded by Bible skeptics and online visitors to our comment sections constantly as undeniable proof of the story of evolution.
I have yet to encounter a creationist who can explain what the story of evolution is.
You dig just a little deeper, all these examples fail spectacularly as to what evolutionists need to demonstrate.
This may have something to do with the fact that evolutionists don't exist. Evolutionists are still the imaginary boogeyman created by young Earth creationists as a straw man.
You see a tremendous amount of variety in just the cat or dog types, for example. How do we explain where lions and tigers and tabby cats, along with wolves and foxes and French poodles, come from?
And that would be evolution. The process of imperfect genetic replication filtered through environmental selective pressure, leading to increased diversity within a species population, which can then lead to speciation.